Alright, you beautiful souls. Welcome back. This will be part 5, I believe, of What If Deku was a Quirkless female. And also, she is a descendant of the Curry family from King and Ashura. So that being said, let's get this episode started. So where we last left off in the last part, Izuka and Katsuki had gotten in trouble at school, and they've made, it's the end of the day, so when they get home, both of them are going to be in trouble. So we're first going to do Katsuki, and so Katsuki, when he gets home, Mitsuki, he's like, you dang little brat, how many times have I told you not to fight in school? Basically, Mitsuki's grabs Katsuki and gives him a nugget sandwich, and Katsuki's like, Mom, I wasn't fighting. I was trying to keep Izuka from getting in trouble, and it backfired. So Mitsuki well, in that case, fine. You're not gonna be in as much trouble as I planned on giving you. And Katsu's like, what is it? I'm grounded. I get stuff taken away. And she's like, well, you are gonna be grounded, but if you get in trouble one more time, I'm not gonna let you go to UA. I was thinking about making, not signing the paperwork for you to go to UA. And Katsu's like, Mom, and he's like, that freaking nerd. And he's just saying a bunch of stuff under his breath, and Mitsuki kind of starts chuckling, and so Kazu's like, whatever, Mom, I'm going to my room. And so he goes upstairs, and Mitsuki's kind of thinking, well, now that I know why he did it, if he's doing it to protect someone, then I guess I'm gonna have to, I'll sign the paperwork. So now we cut over to the Midoriya residence, and Inko has received a call from the school, Mitsuki has, explaining the situation that her daughter had gotten into. So when Izuka gets home, Inko's really reaming into her, when she gets in the door and everything, and she's like, Izuka, you're grounded. You're not allowed to go out and hang out. If it's not training oriented, or if it's not school oriented, you're not allowed to hang out with anybody for 2 weeks. And impressing on her that what she did was really reckless, and you could have hurt someone, you could have possibly killed someone. And Izuka breaks down, and she's like, damn it, Mom, I freaking know how dangerous it is. Basically, starting to cry and everything. And Inko's taken aback by this, and Inko's like, what's wrong, sweetie? Kind of shocked at this. And Izuka's like, you really want to know, Mom? Do you really want to know? Fine, I've killed someone, Mom. I'm a freaking killer. You happy now? And Izuka's in tears. And wait, that... And she gets kind of, yes, Mom, that's... Inko's like, wait, that's Scar. And Izuka's like, yes, Mom, it was when I got this. And Inko, like, just kind of screams, that damn old man! And so Inko, like, kind of, like, walks up to Izuka and basically embraces her and says, sweetie, it's okay, It's okay, sweetie. I'm not mad at you. Calm down and explain what really happened. And so Izuka basically goes into an explanation of what had happened, and she says, well, they were in the mountains training and they were attacked, and Inko's like scared about this, and she's like, so what, so you were attacked, and Izuka's like crying. She's like, yeah, Mom, I was hurt, and like when I defended myself, I kicked the guy, and like I caved his head in. And Inko's like really distraught, and she's like, I'm gonna kill that old man. And so like a few minutes pass, and Inko has calmed Izuka down, and she's like, okay, sweetie, well, go get a bath, and I'm gonna make dinner for you. And at that point, like after Izuka had like gotten up and went to her like room to get clothes and stuff and to shower, basically take a bath and everything, there's a knock at the door. And lo and behold, speak of the devil, it's Hisoka is there. And Inko, like, without even thinking, like, just goes and roundhouse kicks him. Hisoka blocks it, and he's like, whew, sweetie, you've lost your edge. And Inko replies, don't give me that, sweetie. I gave you one rule, Dad. I gave you one rule. And why are you even here? What's going on? Why did you let this happen? I told you, don't let this happen to my little girl. Now we're gonna have to, now we're gonna have to deal with this whole thing, and we're gonna have to explain everything to her. I didn't want her part of this life. I didn't want her knowing about this. I didn't want her in this life. You could have at least protected her better. And Yusuke like, sweet, calm down. That's partly why I'm here. And she's like, fine, whatever. And Izuka's like standing at the top of the stairs, and she just starts crying, and Inko looks up, and Izuka's like, Mom, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you because I didn't want to not be able to see Dad, like grandfather again. And Inko like calms herself and is like, sweetie, it's fine, boy. Come down here. We have a lot to discuss with you. So like a couple hours pass, and Izuka is like completely shocked at like all of this, because she's just now learning like the complete history of her family. Up until now, she had thought that the people would come after her because of what her eyes and everything are and what they represent. She didn't know that like the exact reasoning behind it, because Ahsoka had like kind of explained it to her. And then he goes like, wait, Dad, you're here, what's going on? And Hisoka's like, we don't need to discuss that right now, sweetie. Let's just say I've got some business to take care of, and and he turns to Izuka and he's like, I'm sorry, Izuka-chan, but I could have like taught you better, and there are some things I could have taught you that I didn't because your mom didn't want you learning like skills that would kill people. But I think at this point, I should have taught you better control. And I should have really emphasized it more to not show your eyes in public. And Izuka's like, what? And Hisoka looks at her like, don't give me that what? You think showing that off to those people, I wouldn't hear about it? I know that. I know the master of that dojo. Me and him, we're not friends, but we're associates. And that bodybuilder you met? Yeah, I heard about that too. And he says, I'm sorry. And he's like, that's not important right now. What's important is we've got to prepare you for what's going to come. And Inko's looking at her dad like with the look of horror on her face, and she's like, Dad, you think that's going to happen? And Hisoka's like, it's high probability, and I didn't want this to come down on my children. Well, in any case, promise me, Zuko. Promise me, like, you can't show that anymore. I've been able to like keep it from like the main family, and I think I've been able to keep like what had happened at the gym and at the dojo from the main family. But just in case, I'm gonna do some more training with you, so that if they do arrive, you'll be able to defend yourself at least. And so the next year is going to be even more brutal for Izuka, and it's not going to be to the point that what Hisoka went through during his childhood, at least. So the next day, Inko says, okay, sweetie, you're not grounded, but always keep your phone on you, and if something happens, give me a call, or find like the nearest hero and get help. And Hisoka's like, and that brings me up another thing. He basically like gives Izuka a phone number, and he's like, in any case, like before you like, and he turns to Inko, is like, I'm sorry to do this, sweetie, but if anything happens, give me a call, and the phone won't be answered, but if it does, it will set in motion some things that I've already had in place. So with that, Hisoka bids his farewells to like his family, and Inko's just thinking in her head, it's like, oh my god, because she's kind of feeling it too, what Hisoka's going through. She never wanted this life for her daughter, and now because of who they are, her daughter's in some real serious danger. So Izuka is she basically, like, Inko calls up the school and says Izuka's going to be out of school for a week and everything, and basically explaining that she is getting some help, some anger management help. And the principal's like, he's like, okay, well, basically the principal, like, is the one he goes, like, talking to, and the principal's like, okay, well, I guess, thank God, well, if she's going to be getting some treatment for that little outburst, all the better, like, is what he's thinking. So he gives her, like, a week of excused absences, but she will have to make up all the classwork. And so then Inko calls Mitsuki up and kind of explains the situation, but not in great detail, just stating that Izuka is sick and she was wondering if Katsuki can bring over, like, her work, like any classwork that needs to be done. And so Minsky tells Bakugo this, and, like, tells Katsuki this, and he's kind of worried. He's like, oh no, I did. Because he's thinking, he's like, oh no, did Miss Midoriya find out about Izuka? So he is concerned, and like the next week, he does bring over, and each time he comes, he asks about Izuka, and Inko explains, like, she can't really see anyone, and she's fine, just thank you for bringing the work. And Inko will, like, Izuka will turn it in, so she's getting she's getting excused to turn in, like, the work late without any repercussions because she's on a medical absence, in quotations. So at the end of the week, Izuka will, like, meet, like, that the next weekend. Izuka will get that will hang out with Katsuki more. But this past week, Izuka's really is going to be basically under house arrest for her own protection. Because Izuka did tell Inko that it may not be safe for her to be out in public without a bodyguard. And so while this is going on and everything, like, the day-to-day goes by, and Izuka's, like, every day is basically apologizing to her mom, and at the end of the week, Inka's like, sweetie, it's not your fault. If anything, it's my fault. And me and her dad should have explained the situation that we're in, and we should have told you all of this, like sooner. I'm sorry I'm sorry because of who I am that you're in this situation. And Izuka, like, grabs her mom and, like, hugs her and is like, it's okay, mom, I'm sorry I did that. And Inka's like, sweetie, don't worry, like, you were protecting yourself, and sometimes, like, when you protect yourself, you've got to do something that is really bad. And I don't fault you for that, baby, but you've got to not, like, you can't let this happen again, because it will, we don't know if we'll be able to, like, protect you after that. So after Izuka's hiatus from school and everything, so she's had time to, like, kind of process everything she's been told. She returns to school, and everyone, like, there's rumors and stuff that had spread, and Katsuki, like, after some of the kids started snickering, and Izuka kind of flinched a little bit, Katsuki, like, stands up and is like, look, you jerks. She's been sick. She's been bedridden the entire time. And you think she got in trouble because of the little love tap she gave that jerk over there? Like, looking at the dude, kind of grinning and everything. everyone kind of like stops it, and Katsu's like, remember how you guys used to bully her? Well, guess what? I if you bully her again, what happened to him last week might happen to you guys. And this kind of like really iterates. And the the nice girl um basically tells her, it's like, Izuka, are you okay? And Izuka's like, yeah, I'm fine. I just really don't want to be here, but I've got to be in school, you know. So later that day, Katsuki meets Izuka outside, and he's like, I got a call from that gym, and we are supposed, like, they have our clothes and stuff. Izuka's like, okay, well, I've got to call my mom and let her know. She's a worry. So Izuka calls her mom and explains the situation, and over the phone, like, Ingo tells her over the phone, well, be careful and remember what me and your grandfather told you. And Izuka's like, I know, Mom, I won't do it again, and I'm sorry, I really am. And Ingo's like, it's fine, sweetie. Have some fun, kind of try to relax. Try to get back to normal. So when Izuka and Katsuki get there to like the gym, they're greeted by the bodybuilder, and Izuka kind of looks up at him, and she's like, "So you do know my grandfather?" And the bodybuilder kind of is laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that. Well, in any case, we can't really talk about that here. But I've got some good news. We were able to get those weights you guys were looking for." And when they were told how much they cost and everything, Katsuki's like, "What the hell? Like, we can't afford that." And then Yuzuka kind of looks down, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, Katsuki, about that." And she basically explains that she mentioned it to her grandfather, and he's basically going to take care of it. And so the bodybuilder's like, "Oh, is that so? Well, in that case, until we get payment for it, we won't be able to let you guys get these clothings." So he goes behind the count, like into a back office, like up to like the owner of the gym, and he's like, "You mind if I use the office to make a few phone calls and stuff?" Because he's an employee, he's like a personal trainer for the gym. And the owner's like, "What's for?" And he basically pulls him to the side and whispers into his ear, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I understand. Well, that kind of makes sense how she was able to do all that. Okay." So he goes in the office and gets like thing, and he comes out, and he basically says, "Well, kids, like, it's been taken care of, so we'll let you have these." And they hand the weights to Katsuki, and Katsuki's like, "Whoa, these are kind of heavy." And he's like, "How much is this?" And they say, "Well, it's about 60 kg, but also here's some lighter weights, to get you up to that. Once you get used to these weights, and you've been lifting weights for a couple of months, you'll be able to do this. But if you two are going to be working out together," and he looks at Izuka and hands her the weights, and she the weights kind of noticeably weigh, she's like, "Oh, she's thinking, oh, these are have some weight to him. And she puts like on the bands and the feet, like going to the locker, and basically trimmed over, and basically hands her old weights to the gym. And she's like, well, I don't really need these anymore. Do you guys have a use for it? And then he kind of looks, so, and then Katsuki kind of pipes out, like, can I get them? And Izuka kind of smiles and says, sure, but you with those, I might need to carry these back to your place. So they spend the next couple of hours like working out, and they get a good workout because Izuka has like a little bit of weight and like more weight than what she has. Basically being able to work out with about half the weight what she maxed out with, on top of normal weight training, so that the trainers don't have to be like watching her all the time when she comes in here to work out. And these weights are gradually going to increase. So that being said, we cut to like after they've worked out and they've showered there, and on the way back home, Katsuki's like walking. He's like, so like, did your mom find out? And Izuka's like, yeah, she found out about it, and we got in a huge argument and everything. And Katsuki's like, I'm sorry, I could have stopped them if I realized it sooner. And Izuka's like, it's fine, Kachan, it's just, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang out that much. And Katsuki's like, so you're in trouble? And she's like, yeah, sort of, but I can't really explain it yet, and I'm not sure I should. And Katsuki's like, okay, fine then, but in any case, I'll always be here for you. I have been enjoying the past month and the past couple of months, because when Izuka came back, they were on a break, and it had been a month. They had spent time hanging out for a month, and in Bakugo's mind, after that whole weight training incident, it's kind of made him think, it's like, I've really got to start training hardcore. So he's going to be focusing more on strengthening his body, not really gaining a lot of strength, because he realized very quickly that even if he went all out, he probably could never catch up with Izuka as far as strength. And he's a little pissed off about this, but he's like, well, I have a quirk, so if I can get it to where I can use my quirk with the least amount of recoil, that's awesome. So things get back to normal, and nothing they don't hear anything about stuff. And Hisoka has called them up and says, I think I've dealt with it. And again, Izuka-chan, please don't show that in public, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to help you out. And if I'm really trying to turn over a new leaf from what I lived before, so please be more careful. And Izuka's like, I'm sorry, Granddad, and I won't fight anymore unless it's absolutely necessary. So, this being said, this video's coming up on 30 minutes. The next part, I'm going to go over the start of the anime and an interaction with a few people in passing. After a conversation with another person, I will give them the shout out for when I bring in this person to UA. So that won't happen until after the entrance exam. So that being said, thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'm sorry if this one was a little dry, but things will pick up more. This was kind of a sort of a filler episode, but not really, but really so that it can be shown that how dark this series is going to be getting. And the one commenter that I said, if I see it in the comments, I will ban from the Discord of any spoilers of anyone that I talk to over Discord about. And I'll delete your comments and I will ban you from the Discord. So, that being said, what I had mentioned, if I do throw in tidbits up until a certain point in my what ifs, little plot carrots. And if you can pick up on it, there are special things to that. So again, thank you guys for the support. Thank you for all the comments and the suggestions. And I'm sorry to the two commenters, but I really, I can't give Izuka one for all because it will mess up her abilities. And so I will try to get the next part recorded and released tomorrow. I'm basically pulling a double today. I got to work at 3 p.m. and I'm going to be leaving at 7 a.m. So I have some time to write down the scripts, and I'm off tomorrow so I can get some videos recorded. That being said, I'm going to end the video here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, see you beautiful souls in the next video.